Hello and welcome. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to today's broadcast that we're going to be doing today. So, what I'm going to be talking about today is how I market and sell this new book I'm working on. So, this has been going on for a little while, and you've seen some videos that I have done on this book. But what I thought I'd do today is just sort of talk about what I'm doing as I sort of work my way through the updates on this particular book and kind of give you a little update and show you the whole sort of system, a little bit behind the scenes of what I'm doing. So, all right, let's just dive in. If you have questions, you can put them in the questions or put them in comments, and we'll try to get to them at the end of the broadcast. So there. All right. So this book. Let me just move this out of the way a little bit here. This is actually the fourth version of this book that I have written. I've written three other versions of this book, and it has evolved as has gone along, and I keep updating it as technology changes and publishing changes and things, and my ideas on what to put in this book have changed. But let me just show you where it started. So this was the first version of this book, and this was pretty much one of the most common questions that I had, and so I turned it into the title of the book. I know we've had some there's a conversation recently in the group in the Facebook how to publish your book Facebook group, and this was a very common question that I did, so I made it the title of the book. That's a way you can come up with titles. Nobody got it. It didn't really work. It was basically based off of another book that I liked that was just a big yellow book, but it's the earlier version of telling people how and giving them the instructions on how to publish their book. So this was version one. And then I realized that maybe that isn't the right title. So I came up with a different title and republished it as the Self-Publishing Manual, Create Publish book. Basically, the inside's basically the same and have continued to update and be added to, but the title has changed. This one seemed like a little bit too much work when I sort of thought about it. And one of the ways I sort of would come to this view is when you do videos like this, you talk about your book, you talk about your thing, and you have to describe it. And I realized that this just didn't describe very well. So that's version two. I don't recommend everybody do this way, but this is how I've done it. And I've had, a lot of books. I've done a lot of success with books and trying lots of things. And that's one of the beauties of being a self-publisher and doing print on demand or PDF distribution. You can just keep changing until you kind of see if you can find the one that works. So this is number three. And the reason this has secrets on it is I follow an internet marketer called Russell Brunson, and all of his books have the word secrets on it. And somebody asked him once why he put secrets on all of his books. And like behind me there, over there's one more of his books. He said, well, they tested lots of different title names, and the ones that resonated had the word secrets on it. So I thought, oh, I'll put secrets on it. And this book did really well. This just did pretty good. And as you can see, this is an earlier version, and this was getting ready to kind of do some updates, which is what I'm doing now. But I still wasn't super pleased with the title. So that resolved itself to this one. So it's the same basic design. I just changed the title. And because they're print on their, I actually can't remember if I actually printed this book. I don't think I did. Because it's a PDF book and it's my own book, I can keep changing it. It doesn't really matter. And once I finally anchor on it, it's good. So that's, so here we are. This is today's version. And you have seen me release this book. So all the technical and updates that have happened in publishing are now in this new book. And so I wanted to release it. I also want to add stories of people, case studies, all that kind of stuff into the book and sort of humanize it a little bit more. That's the next round that I'll do on this book. So that's why it's out there. It's also unedited. And that was a test I did on the previous version where I released the book unedited, but everybody wanted the book anyways. It didn't really matter. So it's edited enough, and then it can kind of go from there. So now this has some couple unique things, which is now what we're going to talk about is sort of the marketing on it, that what I'm doing, which is different than looking at my notes here. How are my notes? What I've done. So you'll notice up here, right there, there's a QR code. if you notice on the back of the book, there's a QR code. So one of the things you do, well, I strongly believe if you're going to do sort of build a group like I built, and you do videos where you promote your book and talk about it, is make the book easily available for people to get. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to say above me or below me. And if you notice the text in the announcement on Facebook, it'll give the link that you can go and buy the book. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. But I've also added a QR code on the back. Let me take the shiny stuff off. And you can scan this on your computer with your phone, and you can download the book. So I'm always sort of promoting the book in my videos. So anybody wants to grab that. You also notice it's right above there in the corner. It's just another way, and I'll show how that works in a little bit. You'll see I also do it, if I come back to the branding thing, you'll see it's on the screen too. So it's always on the video screen. Up there in the upper right-hand corner of the book. So that's sort of technique number one, is QR codes are coming back. They kind of were around and they kind of died, but now they're coming back and more people are using them. And I thought, let's just try it. It's just an experiment. Let's see what happens. So that's what you do. And then you just promote and talk about the book. So every time I do one of these broadcasts, I show where the link will be above, the link will be below, depending where you are, and you can get access to the book. It's the companion book, and you can go. I make a sale or 2 or 3 every time I do a broadcast. So it's a great way to kind of build your book, promote your book, see if people are interested in your book as you sort of work on it. And each of these broadcasts, I'm taking a section of the book and then talking about it. So that's just kind of a thing you do. Anybody can do this. I recommend building a group out and see what you can do. See if you can build a group. Our group is now over 9,000 people, so it has a lot of people in it, and it's a possibility to sell a lot of books. But anybody can build a group. So I'm okay with releasing unedited version. I let people know it. I also put a little notice right here in the front. It says unedited version, and people can join in on that and do it. And they basically, one of the comments you'll see on Amazon is people will comment about the book hasn't been edited. So I take that negative and turn into a positive and say, I haven't done it yet. It will be coming, but if you want the information, you can have it. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about, just get the right order here. So I'm at the moment releasing a PDF version of this book, and I'll show you where I sell that very shortly here. And I use Gumroad. Why? Why am I doing a PDF version as opposed to a printed version? Take it all the way to the end. One is I want to get it out faster. I've learned PDF versions are making more sales on some books in PDF versions than I am in print. So PDF and print, it's very easy to put up a PDF book. You have worldwide instant distribution. You have unlimited inventory. It never runs out. You can make more profit. You can charge what you want. You can add extra products to it. You could do some video training. I might turn this into video training to go along with the book. You can do whatever you want with that PDF file. You can put live links in it that go out to other videos, all that kind of stuff. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. But I've noticed that more and more people are buying their books as PDFs than as physical books. Not all my books, but just this particular book does just fine as a PDF book, and it's at a higher profit margin. It's almost 100% profit. I sell this book now for $7. And one of the things I'm doing is I get to each sort of stage of this book is I'm raising the price a little bit up to about where it'll finally be when it sells on Amazon. But that'll just keep doing it. So I encourage you to, if you have book, any kind of book, is sell them physically and sell them as PDFs. Hardcover, paperback, ebook, PDF, audio, all the formats, and see which one that your customer wants. You just don't know. And putting up a PDF version of a book is super, super easy. So I would encourage you to do that. Things like this will probably go away in the final book, but there'll be links for things, that kind of stuff. So what am I doing to do this broadcast on? So I'm on a platform called StreamYard. And this is a fantastic platform for doing videos. You can, as you say, you can put up things like this. You can do that kind of stuff. It has a lot of the TV stuff. You can throw in lower thirds. I can bring in guests. I can do a lot of stuff. And here's my comment. I can do stuff like this. I can bring in from Nabi in Australia. So we're having it. This is an international broadcast going on right now, so which is cool. You can do all that kind of stuff. So this is StreamYard. It costs, I don't know, $20 a month, something like that, somewhere in that range, 20, 22, I don't know, somewhere right on there, and gives you a lot of flexibility. It runs through Facebook Live. It also streams to YouTube, streams maybe I think to LinkedIn. Maybe you can go to a lot of different places. I've streamed it onto my blog. If you set your blog up right and use the YouTube video, you can plunk that into your blog and it'll just stream right to there. So it has a lot of versatility. So it's a great platform to go to. You can do the screen share stuff. We'll be doing that in a moment. So just like this, I can throw up screens. I can do multiple people. It's a great program. So that's the program I'm using to do my broadcasting. You don't have to, but it works really, really well because you do it once and send it to all those different platforms at the same time, and you just saved yourself a lot of energy. So let's look at where I send these to. So that's one of the things to think about when you're doing either a book or video is you want to do the action once, and you want to send it to as many places and get as much use out of it as you possibly can. So as I said, we're going to show you where it goes in a moment, but just like writing a book once, I can create multiple versions on different platforms, one action, multiple results. It really just maximizes what you can do. So you're not doing things over and over. Let's go back to our sharing here. So I send this broadcast. Some of you may be watching on YouTube, some may be watching on Facebook, but this is my Facebook. This is our Facebook group, the How to Publish a Facebook group. And some of the stuff I do to promote my book, you'll recently notice up in the header file, I added a copy of the book. So I'm starting now to kind of do more promotion stuff and trying to, you sort of start casual and you kind of bring it out and you're increasing your what you're doing. So this has, let's move this over here a little bit. So I've added a book at the top. What I've learned, you can go here to edit. Oops, let's go here. Let's go here. You can also put some text in here. I have done links in here. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes Facebook will kick it off and throw up a blank cover. Sometimes they don't like links in here, but I just described the book. So a little promotion for it. You'll notice on the front right here, let's see, I've added in the description. I've added a link to the book right here so that you can get a PDF version of it. I'll show you where that goes in a moment. Here's my broadcast that's going on right now. And let's see if we can just refresh this and you'll see me in here. And you can, what program are you using? Oh, and I'm using, let me just come back. This is a good question. I want to make sure that I'm using StreamYard. Thank you, Ann, for joining. So StreamYard is my favorite program to do this. It runs on top of Facebook Live. It has all kinds of broadcast features like being able to put up questions and lower thirds, and you can bring in guests. I think up to 10 people now. You can stream to multiple platforms, and it's very affordable. I think there's even a free version that keeps the logo up in the corner. But yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, Nabi, just throw up the link. There's the link for it. It's a fantastic program. So let's just look down through my group here, what we're doing. So I add the book at the top to promote, just simple, it's just there. I put the link in my featured post that just sort of talks about the book. Here is my broadcast that we're doing right now. And in the description that I add into StreamYard, I will put a link, this is a live link to the Gumroad site where you can buy the PDF version of this book. So as I do a broadcast, I will point out the links above, the links below. It's somewhere on this page. So you try to help people find that link. I'll show you the Gumroad second place in just a second. So that's going there. And then this text, minus this stuff here, all of this goes onto YouTube. So we'll show you that in a second. So you do it here and it kind of just goes. So you're not retyping stuff all the time. And here's the broadcast. All right. So that's just there. Then these just sit here. And if you've been following, there's don't need to go all the way down, but there's more broadcasts in there. Okay. The second place I broadcast to predominantly is YouTube. So this will go to my YouTube channel, and these are live broadcasts. StreamYard automatically sends it to it. I don't have to do anything. I just hook the accounts together and it goes. And if I go to here, let's see if we can get this to show up. And we'll just stop this for a second. There we go. Pause that. It's here on YouTube, and you'll see all the text that's in here. So automatically, actually this morning I went in and added some text with some more links to the Facebook group. So I'm just going out through my social media platforms. One of the great things that you can do is when you get to, after these are up, you can then start sharing them. So you have a share button right here, and you can share to all of these links. You can put it back onto Facebook, onto the pages, and Twitter or Pinterest, wherever you want to go. But a third advantage of YouTube, one of being a broadcasting platform, also being a place where you can host it, is that you can share it super easy to your blog, websites, whatever. And so that's the third place I go. So after I'm done with the broadcast, I'll come back to YouTube and I will put it on my blog. This is my main blog, and I'll just add it make another blog post. And here's the broadcast. So I'm trying to, it may not, if you look at the views, may not be a whole lot in any one place, but they're kind of cumulative, and YouTube sits out there forever. So things, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, this is still promoting itself. So I will make a post. This is basically the text that I had in the video, which I copied right out of the book, put it right into my blog, so I didn't have to write anything new. Make the links live. I also put the bottom of every post a promo for the book, goes to the PDF page. So depending, however Google sends people to me, there's a way for people to buy your book. And that's one of the keys that I talk about in marketing your book, is make it super easy for people to buy your book. Get them, your job is to bring them here and then send them with a very straight path to the book. So I do that on the blog post. I also do it right here. There's a link, there's a picture with the book and a link. I want to self-publish my book. And so you just click on this link and it takes you right to Gumroad. And this is where I sell my PDF book. So that's our fourth place that we're sending these to. So what is Gumroad? So Gumroad is think of it as like an electronic button, an electronic bucket where you can put any kind of digital file, a PDF, a video, an audio. You can do video courses. I sell books, clip art. I have about 30 different products that I sell on Gumroad in lots of different ways. It's a free version, maybe a $10 a month version. It's super easy to set up. I'll just show you a little bit. This page looks behind the scenes. You add some text. You add your pictures. You add your files. And that's basically it. And up it goes. And they handle all the e-commerce in the background. They handle distribution. They deal with the money, all of that. It's not a site that people come to go to look for things, though you can. It's more of a site that's in the back office of your stuff where you send people to it. So if you look at my blog post, you'll see I have buttons, these two buttons. There's a button of the book, button here, go right to Gumroad to buy. I'll put it also down here at the bottom. There's a link. I think it's actually, I need to link that cover. So there's a little mistake. So we'll link this. If you go back to Facebook, there's a link right there. Everything points into one place where people can get access to the books. I've used Gumroad for maybe 10 years, 8 years, something like that. I love it. It's so easy to set up a product. It's so easy to change something. You can run small courses. You can do all kinds of things. It's just great. They've done a lot of changes lately where you can do membership sites and you can do different bundled packages and all kinds of stuff. It's a really, really versatile site for selling your books. So I would recommend doing something like that and test out, see what happens. I'd sell a lot of my math books and coloring books as PDF versions using Gumroad to distribute them. People just want to be able to put it into their iPad. They want to read it, whatever they want to do. All right, another place. This was my older blog. So I had this one previous to this one. I still kind of run this one a little bit, but it still sits out here and it just sits there. So I've updated. Notice I haven't updated the top yet, but I did do the cover. This is actually the text from the book. I just put the entire text out on here because the goal is to sell books. You need to get people to your site. You can give stuff away if for Google to bring people to your site. They may not want to read all of this, or they want to have the book that they can carry around or put it on their tablet. So I use this as a way of attracting people, and then they come. I also I took all the FAQ questions that were in the book. There's a lot of FAQ questions, and here they all are. Again, I'm just answering questions. These should really all be blog posts, but I just kind of ran out of time, so I just dumped the whole thing there. It's just another place for stuff to go. If you're on YouTube, you can hit the share button. If you're on my blog, you can hit the share buttons. If you're on Amazon, you have share buttons. And one of those buttons is Twitter. I bring everything over onto Twitter and repost it there. Eventually I'll get them to LinkedIn. It's just sort of time to do all this. But one of the ways that you do it is when you're posting your original stuff and doing your stuff, that's the time to sort of share across all your platforms. And so that's the place. But Twitter is one of the places, and you just don't know. You just don't know. And again, I'm just linking out of the blog. I'm trying to drive them either into my blog to get them to the link, or I'm driving them to Gumroad. I'm just trying lots of different places to see if I can get some traction for people to see my book. But I'm just spreading it out. So this is sort of building sort of momentum. I'm just trying to slowly kind of build stuff along so that as I get closer and closer to actually publishing the physical book, hopefully I'll have some buzz going along. And I've done that with other books where you just slowly kind of just build it up, or just get the book out there, get your message out to the world, however you're going to do it. So LinkedIn will be a place. I also send this to a couple different Facebook groups or pages. This is my business, Bruce Jones Design, my graphic design page, make stuff, sell stuff. And you'll notice the videos right here, broadcasting away live. People can just sit here and watch the video on Facebook. It's pretty cool. So however they get to me, whoever's connected to me might get a notice and they can do it. You can see it's going away. If I refresh this page, it'll show up, I think right here. So let's just do a refresh, see if it does. Again, every place the book is a link to buying the book. So super important. Yeah. All right. So it's just, I can just hit that and it'll be broadcasting. Let's see, does everything else sort of fill in? Yeah, there it goes. Oh yeah. All right. So there we are. So it moved from up here where I hadn't refreshed to over here now. So kind of cool. So what else do we have? All right. So that's, yeah, giveaway. Oh, the other thing that I'm doing is because I can use Gumroad, I have access to all the people who bought. Let's just go over and look at the audience. And so a couple days ago, I sent out a link. Let's see if we can get this to, there we go. To anybody who had bought my other publishing books. So let's see if we come down here, you'll notice how to publish. I think I've sold about, I've given away 20 or 30. So what I did is I basically set Gumroad up and used their discount coupon option. And anybody who was in my list who had bought a previous book, I said, you can go and get the book for free. And I gave them, they brought them to the page where the book, I brought them to this page. Let's see here if we can get to it. I brought them to this page to download the book. So now they're in the customer list for this book. So as I update this book and add more things to it, I can now communicate with them because now they have a free copy of the book, and I can just keep adding products in there, and maybe at some point they might turn around and buy a real, actually physical copy. But it's basically advertising. I'm giving away an earlier version of the book to get people interested in it. I've done that on other books where I've sold it and give it away, and has done pretty well. So it's just a way of using your content to spread out to the world what you're doing. And I'm a big believer in it's okay to give away your stuff. Just to kind of share to the world, because people may not know about it and they're not buying it, but if you can get it in their hands and they get used to it and they kind of see it and you're kind of updating more things and you build that relationship, maybe they can become another customer. So, or give them a really good deal, or thank you for being an early member, and you get a special discount coupon on the final product. So all kinds of stuff. There's lots of options and things you can do. So, so that's sort of it. And then as each version comes out, the price will increase, and you're an early person, you get the free ones, and later persons have more. So that's basically sort of that's the point of today's broadcast, is just show you what I'm doing behind the scenes, which is updating this book. So again, I'm going to come back and say, do this. Oh, I want to just show you the QR codes. Let me just take my phone. It's right there on the screen. You can see it right there, and just show you what happens. This is kind of cool. So I'm just using my phone. I just turned on the camera. So there's my camera. I'm going to point it at the video. It says open in Chrome, and it will open. And it's just, oops, it will open. Let's see here. Come on. It can do it. It's thinking about it. Oops, let's get it to go. Should go. Not sure why it's slow, but maybe because we're using all the bandwidth here. But it'll pop up in a second, and then somebody can buy it right off of their phone or their tablet or whatever. So it was good before. It's trying. Anyways, it'll pop up in a second. Let's see if it does. So, so if you have any questions, put them in. And otherwise, that's sort of what I'm trying to do, is write the book, promote the book, spread it out through the entire social media system, and go from there, see what happens, and just experiment. I think that's one of the things I love about the web and sites like Gumroad that allow you to, is you can experiment. Whatever you can think up, go and try it and see what happens. Nothing may happen or something may happen, but that's the, oh, can't be reached. All right, we will see if we can get that to go. But anyways, it goes to the site. It works. I know it works. I did it earlier. Okay, that's it. We will, oh, I have a comment here. Let's see. Worked for me. Yeah, it did. I don't know why it didn't. I think I'm shoving a lot of signal down the line here, and it just doesn't want to do it. But yeah, it works, and you can just go and purchase it online right onto your phone. So who knows? Things happen. All right. So we'll see you next time, and thank you for joining. And remember, pick up the book. It's above or below. Always be talking about it. Always show it. Hold it up. And we'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye. Let me see here. Maybe before I leave, let me just look at Nabi's question, because I always love Nabi's questions. Can you place PDFs that aren't books, but actually marketing, or do they need to be books? No, you can do anything. I think you're asking, Nabi, is this for Gumroad? Is what you're talking about? Yeah, you can put any kind of product or something in there. I don't think there's any, there's no restrictions really on what you can put up there. So you can, yeah, I would say, yeah, if you have marketing material, you want people to buy it, you want it in any way, just, yeah, yes. So Gumroad, yeah, Gumroad is huge. I'm going to do, we had a great question earlier today on you building courses and things. So I need to do a longer show on Gumroad. But yeah, I would definitely, or make them audio, or do some video, or do audio, video, and audio video on all of it. So I think, sure, why not? All right. Okay. Now I'm going to really leave. All right.